It is 11:40 at night, and you are building a spreadsheet about soybeans. Harvest yield, rainfall correlation, commodity futures, row after row, no end in sight. You are 26, 3 years out of school, working at a firm no one at the top has ever heard of. Your manager calls you a high performer. What he means is you work until midnight and never push back. Then your phone rings. It is not your manager. You do not recognize the number. Her name is Elaine Voss. She is the managing director of sovereign risk at Stratford Ratings Group. One of her senior analysts has been placed on administrative leave. The timing, she says, is deeply unfortunate. The agency is 48 hours from publishing a credit assessment on a country of 90 million people. She read your note on Brazilian current account dynamics. She says your regression model was cleaner than anything her team had produced. She asks if you can be in their Midtown office by 7 tomorrow morning. You say yes without hesitation. You close the soybean spreadsheet. You do not save it. You never think about it again. The conference room at Stratford has no windows. What it has is a sovereign debt model with your name already on it. There are 3 associates younger than you sitting around the table. The file on the Republic of Valderra is 2 inches thick. You open it in front of you. Valderra holds $38 billion in external debt. All of it is due for refinancing within 18 months. The existing draft rates, Valderra at BB-, one notch below that is B+. Everything changes at B+. Elaine tells you this quietly. 17 institutional investors must liquidate their Valderra positions at B+. You spend 31 hours inside the model. You do not leave the building. You do not sleep. You find 3 methodology inconsistencies in the debt sustainability analysis. They are not minor errors. You correct them one by one. Each correction pulls the model further from where it was when you arrived. The corrected model does not say BB-, it says B+. You read it twice to be certain. You sit with that result for 11 minutes. You do not move. You do not change anything. You write it up accurately and send it to Elaine. You do not soften the language. You do not hedge. Elaine asks what your confidence interval is. You tell her 82%. She asks what would change it. The report is published at 9 a.m. By the time you refresh the screen, the world has already read it. By 11 a.m., Valderra's 10-year bond yield has moved 90 basis points. You caused that. By 2 p.m., the finance minister of Valderra has issued a public statement. He is not pleased. He says, your analysis is politically motivated. You know it is not political. Your model does not have a politics column. By 4 p.m., a wire service runs a story citing 3 unnamed sources. You read it in the elevator on your phone. The story says the original analyst was placed on leave and refused to downgrade Valderra. You were the one who did. You feel something that is not guilt and not pride. You do not have a word for it yet, but you will. Elaine offers you the role permanently the following week. Associate Director, Sovereign Risk. The salary is 2.5 times what your previous firm paid. The number sits on the page in flat black ink. You take the role. You sign the page. You do not negotiate. There is nothing to negotiate against. 18 months pass. You are not the same person who built the soybean spreadsheet. Not even close. You now cover 11 sovereigns across 3 regions. Your name is on every report that moves their debt. Your assessments move capital, not as a figure of speech. You watch it happen in real time. A country's treasury yield shifts 40 basis points within 6 hours of your preliminary note reaching the market. The rating is not your most powerful output. The outlook designation is stable, negative, positive. Sophisticated desks position against your outlook 3 to 6 months before the formal rating change ever publishes. The methodology guide says the outlook must never be used as a forward signal. You know both things are true simultaneously. You make peace with the contradiction the way you make peace with most contradictions here. You stop examining it at night. You are assigned to the Kasari Sovereign Review, a small island nation, 4 million people, moderate GDP. The ruling coalition has been lobbying Stratford's government relations team for 6 months. You know this because an associate forwarded an internal memo to the wrong Sharma. There are 2 of you in the building. You open the memo. It describes a proposed advisory contract between Kasari and Stratford's consulting subsidiary. The contract is worth 4.2 million annually. The number is on page 2. You read it 3 times. The consulting subsidiary is technically a separate legal entity. It shares a floor with the ratings division and 2 senior personnel. You raise it with compliance, you send the message before you can talk yourself out of it. Compliance tells you the advisory relationship is under review and the rating team is fully firewalled. Case closed. You ask to see the firewall documentation. They say yes, it exists. You ask for a copy. They say they will follow up. They do not follow up. The calendar moves forward. The Kasari review stays on your desk unchanged. You publish the Kasari assessment. It is a fair assessment. Every number in it is yours and yours alone. The assessment is clean. The 4.2 million contract moved through approvals the same week. Both things are true. You understand now that rules are not walls, they are terrain. You learn to move through them, the way capital moves through a structure. You are promoted to director, then senior director. The titles arrive quietly. No ceremony, just a new nameplate. You now manage a team of 9 analysts. You have not built a spreadsheet yourself in 2 full years. Your team covers 43 sovereigns, 43 governments waiting on numbers. Your analysts run through your models. What you do instead of building models is make decisions that your analysts then translate into models. That is the difference. Governments use your ratings to fund hospitals, roads, salaries, and pensions for people who will never know your name. The sovereign debt your team covers across those 43 ratings totals approximately $2.1 trillion outstanding. You attend the G20 Creditors Forum in Vienna. You sit at a side table, not the main table, not yet. 3 people at the main table find reasons to cross the room and speak with you during the breaks. Only 3. A deputy finance minister tells you that your negative outlook on his country's debt is creating genuine political instability. He says this pleasantly over coffee, as though remarking on the weather. You both understand exactly what is happening. You tell him the methodology is public, and you welcome formal engagement through the standard issuer dialogue process. He smiles. You both know what you have just done is a move in a game neither of you will ever fully control. On the flight home, you calculate the total, 2.1 trillion in bonds. The number fits on one line. You do not feel powerful. You feel like a pressure valve. Useful because of your position, not in spite of it. There is a country in your current review queue. You will not write its name in any document that does not go through legal. It is 6 months from a debt ceiling breach. Your preliminary model puts it at B+ with a negative outlook. An upgrade to BB- would drop their refinancing cost by 130 basis points annually. They know this. On $22 billion of external debt, that difference is $286 million per year. That country's average monthly wage is $340. The math does not care about that, but you do. The government lobbies through 2 former Stratford employees now running a sovereign advisory firm. You recognize both names. Your model does not support the upgrade. Your model is correct. You have checked it 4 times. It does not change. 2 of your analysts flagged inconsistencies in the government's reported reserve figures. The flags are still open. Resolving them takes 6 weeks. The preliminary is due in 10 days. You sit with both numbers at once. Elaine mentions the Asia-Pacific expansion twice in passing, both times within the same week. You count the times. She says sovereign issuer confidence across the EM corridor matters to the agency's long-term positioning. You hear exactly what she means. She has not told you what to do. She would never tell you what to do. That is not how pressure works at this level. Pressure at this level is weather. It does not ask you to move. It simply makes the easiest path feel inevitable. You understand precisely how this works. It does not force anything. It just makes one direction appear obvious until you stop questioning it. It is 11:40 at night. You are back at your desk. The hour is the same as the beginning. Nothing else is. The model is open. The reserve data is still flagged red. You have not touched it. You are not sure you will. The preliminary is due in 10 days. 6 weeks of work sit between you and a clean answer. You feel both. You are 34 years old. 8 years ago, you were building a spreadsheet about soybeans at midnight. You are not the same person who closed that spreadsheet without saving it. You know this completely. You are not entirely certain who you are anymore, except that you are the person this chair was built for. The chair does not care who you are. It only cares that someone capable is sitting in it. Tonight, that person is you. The market opens in 7 hours. Another government is already waiting for a number you have not yet decided on. Another country, another 90 million people, another cost of existence that depends on the figure you assign it. You have never felt more certain of your analysis. Every assumption is documented, every input is clean, and you have never felt less certain of yourself. The two things sit beside each other and do not resolve. You are powerful. You are not safe. Those two things have never been further apart than they are tonight. You are influential. You are also replaceable. Somewhere in this building, another analyst is being carefully developed to do exactly what you do. You are wealthy. You are not free. Every number you own also owns a piece of you in return. That is the agreement you signed without reading the final page. You reach forward. You save the file. You do not change anything inside it. Not tonight. You do not close the laptop. The screen stays open. The model stays on the screen. You leave it there. Tomorrow, the model will still say exactly what it says. That part is not the problem. That part has never been the problem. And you will still have to decide what to do with it. That part belongs only to you. It always has. Power in finance is never permanent. It is a position held until someone else holds it better. You know this now. The market opens tomorrow. Another crisis builds somewhere. Another operator is already waiting to rise. The game continues.